สดใสกินอยู่ถูกอนามัยโรคภัยไม่เบียดเบียน
คุณกำลังฟังสวทภูเก็ต FM 96.75 เมกะเฮิรตซ์สื่อสร้างสรรค์ทันสมัยทันเหตุการณ์
Be interesting Phuket tourist attractions, a beautiful culture, and tourist news. Here on Phuket Radio Thailand, FM 96.75. This is Phuket Variety.
Hello to all our listeners. Happy Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the Phuket Variety program of Phuket Radio Station.I'm Daryl, your new host for this program. I am Thailand Coordinator for Hospitality and Tourism Management to ASEAN. It is my privilege to talk and host the Phuket Variety program. Alright, joining us this afternoon is my good friend, Pee-wee. How are you?
Hi Daryl, I'm great.How are you?
Good.
I would like to wish you a happy weekend to our listener and welcome you to our program, the Phuket Variety.
Yes, happy weekend, everyone. Okay, weekend is a very good time when we spend with our family, friends, and relatives. Just like us, Pee-wee and I and our friends are planning to have dinner together tonight after this program.Exactly.
I love dining out with friends on weekend and taking them to taste Phuket dishes.
And also, Pee-wee, right? We can proudly say that Phuket is very famous for its seafood cuisines. Pee-wee, can I ask you, what's your favorite seafood dish?
I love deep fried sea bass with fish sauce. This menu is coated with flavorful, sweet, sour, and salty sauce.Then going to the grilled prawn or shrimp.
Grilled prawn shrimp. Right.
The juicy prawn cooked on the grill and then coated in the spicy garlic lemon butter sauce. Served with rice or crusty bread. And my last favorite food is the stir-fried squid with salted egg.And when doing this menu, during the stir-frying, the egg yolk dissolves into the velvety sauce that softly coats the squid, complementing their ocean flavor.
Ooh.
We should try tonight. How about that?
The fare sounds so delicious. I can't wait. All right, speaking of seafood dishes, we have a very interesting topic to talk about this afternoon. The Phuket lobster. And it is also called the king of seafood. Pee-wee, can you tell me more about how it got the title the king of seafood?
Lobster is the ultimate in crustaceans. No matter how the lobster are served, you can be guaranteed that they will always taste delicious. As for Thailand, Phuket lobster is probably the most popular kind of lobster.
So when it's served, the Phuket lobster is very delicate, right?
Yeah. Not only it is exquisitely decorated, it is even tastier than other seafood. It's a must for tourists visiting Phuket.To have a taste of Phuket lobster. Therefore, Phuket lobster surely is the king of seafood.
Wow, that's so interesting. And as you know that if you choose to eat lobster, the lobster you choose should weigh about 700 to 800 grams. However, it's actually better if you can choose lobsters that weighs more than that.As you know that as the heavier the lobster is, the tastier it is. What makes the Phuket lobster unique and outstanding compared to other lobster species is its thin shell, which gives the Phuket species more meat. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So the meat is very rich and sweet, but not mushy.Lobster's meat can also be cooked in several ways. For example, you can do steaming, roasting, grilling, and frying. But no matter how the lobster is cooked, you can be guaranteed it will be delicious no matter how you choose for it. Now, you have an idea how tasty Phuket lobster is. So please don't miss your chance to try the king of seafood.
Yes, we want to share some interesting events that happened last month. Halfway between Cape Panwa and Koh Lon, on the small island of Koh Thanan, under the jurisdiction of Vichit, a conservation effort, the Phuket Fishery Office, alongside local farmer and fishing groups, released a staggering 700,000 lava of local delicacy. The 7-color lobster, along with the 500,000 black tiger shrimp, into the water of Phuket, Thailand.
Okay, yeah, and addition to that information, this massive release of young crustaceans was part of the Phuket 7-Colored Lobster Bank project. And as explained by Sitipong Muansung, the chief of the Phuket Fisheries Office, the initiative aims to release the total of 1.7 million 7 colored lobsters, younglings into the Phuket area to the bolster aquaculture stocks. Oh, it's quite a lot.
Wow.
The release was not a solitary effort. It was collaborative endeavor involving the Phuket Fisheries Office, the Phuket Coastal Aquaculture Research and Development Center, and the local farmers who cultivate the 7-colored lobsters. That one is reported from the Phuket News. The Phuket governor also was present at that event. He spoke about the efforts to expedite the registration of the 7-colored lobsters as a geographical indication or GI product. It is assigned use on the products. What is like GI means? Okay, when you get this sign, it means that it is used on products that have a specific geographical origin. Like here in Phuket, you can find the 7-colored lobster in Phuket. All right, and also it possesses the qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. So to function as a GI, it must have the identity as a product as originating in a given place. So the Fisheries Office and the Provincial Commerce Office has been tasked with preparing the necessary information and documents to make the case for the lobster's GI status.
Yeah, for the 7-color lobster or rainbow lobster, if approved, would be the second aquatic product from Phuket to receive this prestigious recognition. Following the Phuket poll, the lobster is already well known for its unique taste and often fetches prices above 1,800 baht per kilogram.
Yes,
The governor,
expensive.
Mr. Sopon, emphasized the importance of registering the 7-color lobster as a GI product. This move is to guarantee that the Phuket 7-color lobster is unique to Phuket and has not been registered anywhere. Rainbow lobster or 7-color lobster from Phuket is an economic animal of the south. Was chosen by Michelin star chefs to be an ingredient of special dishes for economic zone leaders in the 29th Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, and is expected to help promote Phuket also.
Wow. So it's quite good project and move to promote Phuket, especially the lobster. Like foreigner tourists really love seafood, and that's one of also the reason why tourists are coming to Phuket. Okay, so Before we have a break, the Kongpan Palai Farm in Muang District of Phuket is one of the 15 sources of lobsters in the Southern Island province. It became better known for supplying rainbow lobsters as an ingredient for special dessert in gala dinner for APEC during the participants on November 17. So, we will have a short break and we will come back to talk about the history of Phuket seafoods industry. Hello listeners, welcome back to Phuket Variety Program. It's Daryl. Let's continue to talk about the Phuket lobster, king of seafood. Alright, so now let's go to the history of Phuket seafood industry. So as we know, the turquoise water of the Andaman Sea had been a source of sustenance and inspiration for the people of Phuket for centuries. The island seafood industry has a rich history shaped by its diverse cultural heritage, natural resources, and the passion of the fishermen and chefs. Today, Phuket is a thriving gastronomic hub, boasting some of the best places to eat in Phuket, including the renowned Can Eng at Pier Seafood Restaurant. Okay, so Kui will take us a glimpse into the past of Phuket seafoods industry. Okay, Pui.
Okay, let's take a glimpse into the past, the Phuket seafood industry. Phuket's connection with the sea dates back to the early days of its history. Its strategic location on the trade routes between India and China made the island an important port for the traders and sailors. The local communities, mainly consisting of ethnic Malays, Chinese, and Siamese, or Thai, right, rely on the bounty of the sea for their livelihood, forging a strong bond with the ocean that still endures today. As Phuket economy grew, so did its seafood industry. The island's fishermen ventured into the Andaman Sea to catch a variety of fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, and which were then sold at the local markets or prepared in household and eatery. Over time, the demand for Phuket seafood grew, attracting more fishermen and culinary talents to the island.
Okay. And according to the Marine Education Society of Australasia, you know that there are actually 75 species of lobsters inhabiting the world oceans. It's a rare species. And now we're just talking about the Phuket lobster, seven-colored.
Yes, seven-colored,
rainbow
lobster.
Yes. Okay, so 30 of these species have large claws and tend to inhabit colder waters. The remaining 40, which are commonly called spinky or rock lobsters, lack large claws on their forelimbs. Okay, so local. Let's go back to local Phuket lobsters. Actually, it's on the top of every reputable seafood menu.
Yes.
Whoa. It's most costly caught around Phuket or framed in neighboring islands. Okay, so there are several kinds of lobsters, but you likely see the seven-colored Phuket lobster. Actually, it's around 1,800 to 2,500 baht per kilogram, and it's depending on the size. Okay, it's quite expensive, really, right?
Yeah.
So here, let's proceed to give you some information. This one is coming from We Love Phuket site. We try to get to know Phuket Island means more than just like sunbathing on the beaches, right? Tourists, international tourists, even local tourists are coming in Phuket for beaches. However, there's so much more to discover here. Okay, one special gastronomic and cultural highlight is visiting a lobster farm in the north of the island near, where is that, Piwi?
Tha Chat Chai.
Oh,
It's Tha
how far
Chat
is
Chai.
that? Oh, yeah, near the border.
Nearby the border. Nearby the
Saracen,
airport,
right? Patachai. Okay, you'll be able to observe the local fishermen's lifestyles and even sample fresh lobsters and seafood while enjoying the view of Sapan
Saracen.
the bridge there,
bridge.
right? When you cross that one, you look at going from Phuket, going to Phang. You look at your right side, right?
Yeah.
You can see the farms for lobsters and seafood. The bridge that links the island to the mainland. There you can see that one. Okay.
And then Mr. Somchai Udompon, an ethnic sea gypsy, is the owner of that farm. He's been supporting his family through fishing and running the farm for over 20 years. He started by simply selling his catch, but then he decided to establish the farm and sell to the middleman, who in turn delivers and the lobster to the Phuket many restaurants.
So and then Mr. Somchai has about now 100 lobsters on his farm, and currently we don't know, maybe over 100 right now. Nowadays, he admits that it's getting harder and harder to simply find lobsters in the wild. And some restaurants even import lobsters from Burma and India. However, the cost of importing them is expensive and risky, as the lobsters could die en route to Phuket. Thus, he only sells local lobsters. As we know, like now in social medias, YouTubes, Instagrams, there are many tourists who want to really be part in experiencing how to catch the lobsters. They want to see where the lobsters are raised.
Yes.
It's a very good experience, not only like simply dining. Actually, you can have the experience to see the actual farm,
the origin,
to see how they raise them, how you catch them, and how to prepare them. Right. So
according to him, raising lobster is not so complicated if you feed them with shells once a week. Before that makes them molt and grow a new shell. On the farm, we have to separate them into the different age groups. The only main problem is when the net breaks. It usually takes about a year for a lobster to grow and mature, and the price of 1 kilo lobster is about 2,500 baht.
Oh, that price is reasonable, because if we observe how they raise, the expenses of raising the lobsters it's a lot as well, right? So that's good. So in the past, running the farm, according to him, that simply consisted of only just selling the lobsters to restaurant, but now they incorporate with tourism. That's what I'm talking about. Like now in social medias, many tourists now are really going to his farm just to see the lobsters. So tourists can visit the farm and see the real lobsters and even sit down and enjoy the meal there. Okay. And they recommended the dish in sashimi lobster. Okay, this is the best dish that they can recommend for lobster. And it tastes really sweet and it's crunchy. Besides lobsters, they also serve other seafood such as crabs, fish, and cockles, all prepared by their chef on the floating farm. Oh, how exciting! Well, we should try next time, right? And see this
one day.
Okay.
Mr. Somchai also recommends visitors to take a long-tail boat to view the nearby scenery, the local fishermen' lifestyles, and, the most importantly, to view the Dragonback. You know, the name for the local use for the nearby sandbar that is exposed when the tide goes out. You can walk on it. And low tide, he explained like that. The Dragonback only is visible at extremely low tide, and then this happen only 3 or 4 times a month. The best time of the day to visit the floating farm is about 3 to 6 p.m. and the whole experience take about 3 hours. Enough time to experience this unusual place and to fit in a great meal.
Wow, a very good business. Okay, the business techniques for Mr. Somchai. All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about what are the different types. Why lobsters have a lot of colors, right? I'm
Yes.
quite curious as well. So when we come back after our break, let's talk about this for more. Thank you. Welcome back to Phuket Variety Program. All right, it's still Daryl for the Phuket Lobster, the king of seafood. All right, so the question is, why are lobsters different colors? Okay, this one is a very good question. Lobsters are different colors because of the different amount and distribution of the astaxanthin pigment. Lobsters have 3 layers of colors. They have red, blue, and yellow on top, which gives us different color variations and shades. Other factors that cause different lobster colors are their genetics, diet, and shell hardness. So it's just like human skin. Lobster pigments called astaxanthin can give them different shades of green, blue, and yellow. Like in human pigments, it's called the melanin, which change our skin to shades of white, brown, and black. So, I mentioned pigments are the main reason why lobsters get their color. But how exactly does it work? So, lobsters eat a red pigment and their plant food called astaxanthin. This pigment is stored in an animal skin, just underneath the hard shell. Alright, so however, over time, the pigment migrates into the shell where different shell proteins can change the pigment to store it and changing its color. This creates lobster's colored layered cake. The red skin at the bottom, a layer of blue pigment in the bottom of the shell, and orange on the outside of the shell. Interestingly, we mostly see brown. Now, one of the most popular lobster color is the brown one because our eyes can't see all the layers, of course, at the same time. Some lobsters might even lack of pigment, which causes them to become white or albino. This is similar to what happens as well in our human skins and other animals when they're born with mutation that leads to albinism. However, white lobsters are extremely rare to find. All right, so let's try to go back to the year 2010. Since lobster is a high-priced seafood, consequently, there are a lot of Phuket local established that lobster floating farm in the Phuket coastal area. And now, the lobster's demand seems to be higher. The committee member of the Seafood Farmer Association in Chalong, Phuket, said that after Phuket was hit by the tsunami, the association has supported its member to farm a high-priced seafood such as copper, giant perch, and current 6 fasciatus. Later, they set up a separate floating farm to grow the lobster, since there are just a few lobster farms in Phuket. Most farmers don't like to grow the lobsters because it's hard to find young lobsters and the growing process is more complicated than other seafood. Now, there are 4 to 5 floating baskets used to grow the lobsters. Most of the lobsters from this farm are sent to many restaurants in Phuket. Even though Phuket lobsters' demand is getting higher, the existing farms cannot meet the demand since it's hard to find the lobster breed in nature. Some of the farm owners have to order the breed from Ranong province or even neighboring countries. Consequently, this increases the higher farming costs. To avoid catching lobsters from the sea, sometimes the farmers buys conceiving lobsters from the fishermen and breeds them to their farm. And actually, it's quite long time to grow the lobsters. It will take around 1 year. Wow, it's quite long, right? And that was 2010. So now let's go back at the present. We have a lot of lobster farm now in Phuket. Seafood cultured farm. Yeah, because it's a high demand now in Phuket.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the previous Expo 2028 Gala that happened here in Phuket. Under the theme of the future of life, living in harmony, sharing, and prosperity. They serve the 7-colored lobster during the gala. Yeah, right. Yeah, because they put that one in one of their menus for the theme Sustainable Thai Gastronomy. That gala dinner and was meticulously designed to impart the 5 flavors that distinguish the Thai cuisine, as well as its aromas, essences, and many colors. The menu was created to connect the local with the global, with ingredients sourced from every part of the country. That one is according to the Foreign Ministry. People around the world, of course, especially here in Phuket, know lobster as a delicacy or luxury of food because you have to really spend a lot of money to try this dish. Like shrimp, crab, and crayfish, lobsters is a crustacean and a type of shellfish characterized by its segmented body protected by its shell. Okay, so what are the benefits? Okay, what are the benefits on consuming seafood, especially lobsters? Okay, here are some fast facts on lobsters. Lobsters are a great source of selenium and also contain omega-3 fatty acids. Selenium is kind of mineral that support cognition, immune system functions, and fertility. Most adults needs around 55 micrograms per day. Sources include nuts, eggs, and some fish. Also, lobster can help protect against thyroid disease. So yeah, so I have observed those people who consume less seafood. They really, it's common for them to have a thyroid disease. And it can also protect us with depression and anemia. Also, for those who are having depression and anemia, you can start eating seafood, especially lobsters now. Lobsters can also serve as the main source of protein in a meal. All right. So, there are many lobster in Phuket served in many restaurants around the island. Okay, so we can recommend some dishes, and we can recommend the places that you can find lobsters. All right, so for dishes, lobsters is good for baked Phuket lobster with garlic and butter sauce. Yeah, you can also try the baked lobster tails with garlic butter. And lobster tails is one of elegant dishes that we really like whenever lobster is on sale or special occasions such as New Year.
I will suggest the famous restaurant that serve lobster at the Tui Wong Road, Patong, Katu, or in town. A lot of restaurants also.
Okay. So, right, that's the end of our topic about the Phuket lobster, king of seafood, for today. And to all our listeners, thank you for hanging with us this Saturday afternoon. to hear more about interesting things in Phuket, just join us tomorrow on Sunday afternoon.
To all listeners, have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.